So one of the things you can do with a POG 2 is use it as a level boost. On the left hand side you see this left hand section, you've got a thicker line across the middle. That's unity gain. So with this set as it is here, basically the pedal's doing nothing. But you can use it as a level boost simply by, you only need your dry output for this one. Just move your dry output to the top. Make sure your dry FX light is not on, so it's not using any of this right hand panel. And basically all it's doing here is boosting your dry output, so you've effectively got a boost pedal from your POG. So here's a riff without the boost. And here's one with. Okay, so number 2 effect is chorus effect, and this you quite simply use the detune slider for an increased chorus effect. So in order to enable that, you need to enable the dry FX onto the amber light, and fully up the detune will have quite a big chorus effect. What you also need to do here is raise the LP filter up, otherwise you'll have low pass filtering going on. So this is the sound with the chorus right up. And this is the sound with a reduced effect. So the next effect is a pseudo 12-string sort of sound, and this you can use exactly the same settings that you use for the chorus, but adding a little bit of +1 octave into the mix. You only want to be between sort of 3 and 4 in that sort of area, otherwise it sounds a bit artificial. And you can have the chorus at the gain right up, or somewhere in the middle, depending on your particular preference. So this is what it's like with it full up. And here's with it just below halfway. Sound number 4 is just removing a little bit of pick attack from your signals to sort of, it's not a full violin sound, but just creates a slight effect. So it's quite a subtle effect, but I find surprisingly useful on certain things. So for this you just need dry effects on the red button, so you're only using this attack slider, and you just want to move it between 2 and 3, really not much at all, and it's very useful for smoothing out pick attack noise or making that slight violin sound. Anyway, listen to it, see what you think. Okay, this one is slightly more obvious, this one, and that's using the POG as basically a bass when playing your guitar, making it sound like a bass. And obviously for this you don't have any dry output, but slide your 2 lower octave ones. I mean, I tend to have them set the same, but it depends on your amp, on the sound you're looking for. And you also want a bit of a bit of filtering on the LP filter, so I tend to go halfway, and that gives you a fairly reasonable bass from a guitar, provided you know your amp is up to the job. So the final tone today is probably the most effecty of all the tones we've discussed, but it's still very usable. I find it quite useful for a clean tone for two reasons. One, it sort of gives a sort of ghost note underneath, and also when you're holding a note for a longer period with a clean tone that doesn't really sustain, it gives you a bit of sustain underneath the note itself. So for this, we've just got a dry signal. We're maximizing the single octave mix, and 4 for the sub octave, the 2 octaves down. And what you want to do is actually put the attack right up, so that these two effects, the 2 octaves below, really only come in when you hold a note. When you're playing short staccato notes, it's really very subtle effect, but as I say, I find it quite usable. So here's some tones with this setting.